Hello there, this is Rom Wills, and I'm coming back at you again with yet another video. Today, I'm just here to tell you women need to spot diamonds too. Now, I did a video called Spotting Diamonds. It was mainly for the men to, really check out some of those women who might not be, that quote unquote dime or, some, that, deep, extremely beautiful woman. Check out some of those women who might be, a little bit average and all of that, above average. You might have a diamond. Now, y'all can check out that video in my archives, but today I want to do the other side. Now, yeah, I didn't think I was just going to say something about men spotting the diamonds and not say something about women spotting the diamonds. Because, look, I'm going to be just straight up with you. A lot of women really just mess up because they're looking for so many superficial things that they miss out on the man with substance. Because the man with substance might not look as, flashy as the other guy. And of course, now I've gotten to the point I gotta make a distinction on all my videos. This goes out. Yeah, a lot of black women need to take care of this, but increasingly in Western society, you have a lot of educated white women who are missing out on some quality men. Because you had quite a few writers who've actually addressed that issue, and my brother Obsidian of the Obsidian Media Network, he's actually addressed that a few times. So it's not just black women, but just women in Western culture. They get a little bit, some status, a little bit of money, and they're looking for, I don't know, they're looking for Christian Grey or something. That handsome billionaire, straight up. But women, just like men, need to really be realistic and learn how to spot that diamond. Women especially did. Women especially did. Let me share a story. Y'all know I'm gonna do a story. Uncle Rom always does stories because, well, I got a ton of them. I've lived an interesting life. That life would be like you'd make it into a movie. That'd be like a year-long miniseries event, like several seasons or something like that. But I remember I was hosting a relationship workshop, right? And it was in this home I lived in at the time. Had It was interesting because before I really got into the workshop, I kind of just sat back and watched the dynamics because there's some very attractive women there and some very sharp men there. Now they had this one young lady, and um, if she ever hears this, she know I love her to death. But I gotta call her on some stuff. She knows I love her though. But very beautiful, like drop dead, stop traffic type of beautiful, right? And basically, she interacted with probably four guys there, right? And she basically shot down harshly three of them. And then the fourth one was basically a pretty boy. Now, check this out. The guy that she was receptive to, well, first of all, even though he was hollering at her, he was married. And not only married, but he really wasn't doing much with his life. I mean, just kept a basic job and stuff. But women saw him as a pretty boy. All right. I mean, looked good on the surface and all of that. And I'm gonna be honest, dude has some character issues. But what happened was these three other guys tried to holler at her, and she pretty much just shot them down. Now, no, they didn't look like, they didn't look like the pretty boy, but these were some sharp brothers. These were some sharp brothers. Two of them, two of these brothers were somewhat affluent. Somewhat affluent. One was a property owner and, had a high paying job. The other one was a business owner, a very affluent business owner. I mean, that dude had two high end cars, had to fly condo and stuff. I used to joke with him, like, I used to say, dude, you like a comic book character or something. I mean, this is like an international playboy type of person. Seriously. But and the third guy wasn't like who he wasn't as affluent as the first two, but he was a sharp, solid dude, very solid, very very sharp brother. And this woman shot him all down. Now it's interesting. She messed with the dude or entertained a dude that had the definite character issues, and I ain't gonna get into why I know he had the character issues. And but she shot down the guys who I knew they were good guys, like just genuinely good guys, good character, wouldn't do anything out of the way, and had good intentions towards her, or would have had good intentions because these are three guys I knew, and I've got a chance afterwards and even beforehand to see how they interacted with all women, and it's always above board. So this woman, she actually missed out on three diamonds. Now, reason I say that because this is one thing I've seen. See, understand something, and I've said this on several of my videos. I got my start in this whole relationship thing by writing a pamphlet for women called Finding a Good Man. And one of the things I said in it that women really need to get to know these men, because a lot of times they're passing over a man, or if his presentation isn't good at that particular moment, or he doesn't have that right combination of good genetics, they pass right over him. But it could be a diamond. It could be the guy who's going to be there for them. It could be the guy who will rock their world in the bedroom. But a lot of times they're not going to take the time to try to spot that diamond. It's like they're trying to make a decision in the first like 30 seconds. And see, that's one thing about women, and this is something a lot of women have said. They even had women on TV sitcoms have said this. Relationship coaches have said this. Women make that decision in like within a minute as soon as they meet a guy. How far are they going to go? They choose him right then or there. Now, there's situations where if the guy's in a position to get to know her, or she's in a position to get to know him, she might change her mind. But in the majority of cases, a woman is just going to reject that guy, and that'll be it. But see, here's the problem: it's impossible to truly get an idea about a person on the first look. Like I said, unless that person looks really good or just has that bomb presentation, he loses it. And see, a lot of dudes who have bad intentions, a lot of players, that's one thing about players. A lot of them really work on their image because they know that's what the woman's going for, even though they lack substance. But then what the woman wants is the substance. She loves the image, but then when she gets to know the guy, if he don't have substance, what do women say? They say he was all right till he opened his mouth. So I know women want the substance from a man. But how you going to find out that substance if you don't get to know him, if you don't dig deep? Now, some women, I mean, sometimes a woman will say, all right, he approached, let me give him a chance. But see, a lot of women, they make that assumption. They'll make a negative assumption about a man. And, this is a case, even though I say this applies all the time, this is a big case in the black community. Many times black women will see a guy, and if he don't look a certain way, they just make a negative assumption about him. And there's a story I told. Now, I got about 3 or 4 different websites outside of at least 3 other websites outside of YouTube, which I do podcasts for. And one is public, and 2 or more private. You have to join them. And so I think I told this on, I know I told this on one of them. I might have told this on YouTube, but bear with me if you heard this before. I remember I was in downtown Baltimore talking with a dynamic sister who owned a little restaurant. She owned a little vegan place. And me and love her to death, and me and her get together, we just talk business and all of that. It was cool, total friendship and everything. It was cool, business partner type thing. right? So, we were just chopping it up about business. We outside the store, we just laughing, talking some business stuff, talking a little personal stuff. And this dude came walking across the street and just, waved hi to her and stuff. And I'll never forget what she said. Now, check it out. This dude just had some locks, some regular jeans. He wasn't muscular, like just a very average build. He's not the type of person that anybody would give a second look to. If you saw him walking, you wouldn't really think nothing about him stood out physically. Average height, I say he was about, I say maybe five, maybe about, I would say 5'9", 5'10". So he definitely wasn't in that tall category. He wasn't muscular, for all the black folks. He wasn't, he ain't had that complexion that stood out or that like grade of hair that stood out. I mean, just very average looking brother. I remember she told me, she said, Ron, check that dude out there, right? After he walked past. I said, yeah. I said, you see this block here, half this block here, that guy owns it. I was like, word? Oh, snap. Yeah, I'm impressed. And he didn't even look that old, dude. He had to, I mean, black don't crack, but dude looked about, dude didn't even look like he was over 30. He might have been, just by the way we aged, but he still couldn't have been, even if you take that into consideration, he might have been older. It was nowhere, he wasn't over 40. I'll put it like that. And being generous, he wasn't over 40, you know. But this dude owned half the city block. And this is a big ass block. Now, a woman, looking for a guy with resources like that, because let's be real. I mean, we have to be real. I know a lot of people talk game and all of that stuff. But if a woman ain't finding that, pretty boy Mr. Goodbar, 6'4" type of dude, that second thing is going to be the stable guy who got some resources. This dude owned half a city block, and this block had like apartment buildings, commercial property. Um, he had resources out the yin yang, and but he would probably be passed over by the vast majority of women. And I ain't even saying just black women. A lot of white women probably pass him over too, cause he ain't had that look. Which I had to do a video on that, cause a lot of brothers trying to check for white women, and there can be some issues there too. But he's the type you wouldn't think much of him, and a lot of people would pass him. They would pass that diamond if they were looking for him, because he had to have a certain personality combination to even get to that point, especially at a young age. And like I said, it's I'm actually very good at reading people. Dude wasn't that type who would be on some thug shit. So, it's, I mean, you had that. Now I didn't ask about his relationship status. He could be happy with somebody, but I've seen women. I've seen women reject dudes who looked average like that. I've seen it a lot. Not just at my workshops. I got so many instances where a woman has questioned or actually said that dude didn't look like much or something like that. Too numerous. I could probably do 4 or 5 videos just like talking about the top 20 instances I've encountered that. That's just the top 20. I ain't even like get into the other, few hundred instances where I've known of a woman rejecting a guy just basically off of his appearance. Be like, oh, he ain't had the right shoes. Now notice I said that look. And I'll be doing a video on that, and that one will be specifically targeted to the black community. But you have a lot of women who are just missing out on their riches because they're not really exploring. They're not taking the time. If a guy approach them and if he ain't like if he isn't what they like, in their mind think of as ideal, they ready to shoot him down. But he could be polite about it. And I've always said to women, if a guy approach you politely, find out what he's about. He might surprise you. But see, a lot of women don't want to do that. Like I remember this Tantra master. Now, I've mentioned Tantra a couple times in these videos. I might have to do a video talking about just talking about Tantra. I might have to go deeper with y'all. I don't expect that one to get a lot of views because some shit will definitely be over people's heads. But I remember he said something very profound, and he said this to an audience of all black folks. If I can find that video, I should put it in the comments if I can find the video again. But he said, these women looking for good guys, but won't even look a man in the eye. Now, how they going to know what's going on with him if they not looking him in the eye? And that's a lot. You see, that was deep because you see that a lot. A lot of women, they so busy not want to be approached or not want somebody to say something to them that they actually miss out on the ones who could be good for them because they're not looking up. They being defensive when they don't need to be. Now, I understand if, dudes are being disrespectful and stuff, but, most dudes look at them. I mean, really, that's just looking at them. And if a dude say something to him, 95% of the time it's going to be polite. It's going to be like, hey, how you doing? Now, if he like, hey, baby and all that, oh, yeah, curse his ass out. But that's not the case. So, let me end this by saying one more thing about this diamond thing. Ladies, this is for the ladies. Ladies, don't get a guy you see as a bum and think he going to turn out to be a diamond. Don't lie to yourself. Don't say, well, I got this guy. I know somebody will get in the comments like, well, I got this guy. I stuck with him and all that, and he still turned out to be a bum. That's because he was a bum when you met him. If a dude ain't working to do something for himself, he ain't going to change just because of you. In the back of his mind, he's feeling like, well, if I was a bum and she's still giving me sex, why change from being a bum? Yeah, I know, y'all, that was some deep shit, wasn't it? Anyway, yeah, but nah, it's some real shit, though. Why change from being a bum? You can tell a guy, I mean, seriously. If you see some guy, he clean cut, he don't look like a bum. Now, y'all know if a dude don't look like a bum. If he don't look like a bum, look like he trying to do something. Shoot, just be like, all right, let me just see what's up. He might surprise you. And there's been some cases, in all fairness, this ain't a thing all women do. There's been plenty of women. They'll meet some guy, and they'll say, well, when I first met him, I didn't think it was all that, but then I got to know him. Those are the women who went out. Those are women smiling in relationships now. Because you know what? They knew how to spot a diamond. So anyway, that's it for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.